I mean, the first year we did £30,000. Second year we did 600, and then third we went to 1.4 million pounds. So
damn, dude, that growth is unreal.
Yeah, it's been one hell of a ride.
Welcome to Seven Figure Entrepreneur Podcast, the #1 podcast for bringing you behind the scenes with real deal online earners. We got no fake gurus here. And today we have a great guest from London. Are you in London?
London, UK, yeah.
London, UK. We got that classy accent on here today. We're bringing you that knowledge. Harry Simonis. Welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's a pleasure being here. I'm excited to have a chat and looking forward to it.
How is London life? Like, I feel like you're a classier dude than me already just because of your geolocation.
Well, I mean, I love London. It's my favorite city. I moved here a year ago.
Yeah.
I've always like my goal kind of to live in London, like be in the city. So I'm kind of a city guy. I prefer like being around people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really cool place.
I was in London about 2 years ago and I was talking to my fiance and I was like, I could for sure live here. Like, this is my jam. I would feel broke all the time, but I could live here.
Yeah. It's a bit pricey in some areas.
I think we stayed in a really, really nice spot. Where did we stay? I don't know. I forget, man, but it was nice and it was expensive, but it was Notting Hill. We stayed in Notting Hill. That's where we stayed.
Nice place.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was really good. So anyway, welcome. Oh yeah, we got Tyler Devon here. I'm sure
Yes, sir.
Everyone knows this. Everyone can see this.
Background. I know. Well, the people that watch us on YouTube. And just actually to fill our listeners in, I don't know if you guys remember, but we had a guest on way back. He's like a traffic legend by the name of Chad Hamza. It's either Hamza or Hamzy. I always forget, man. Do you know Harry?
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
I just call him Chad H.
I just call him the Hulk of traffic.
The Hulk of traffic. Yeah, Chad is like a traffic genius, man. And actually, talking to him recently, apparently he has this whole like back end background that we were chatting about. But anyways, he's the one that actually introduced us to Harry. I guess they met at Mastermind, the Ecom Mastermind. They're bouncing ideas. Chad's like, dude, you gotta have Harry on your podcast. You gotta bring him on.
Yeah.
Like, the people are going to love it. So here we are. Thanks for making the time, man. We definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited. Thank you.
I'm pumped to have you, man. So, cause like, I don't know what you do, man. I know you do econ. And I know you have some sort of store possibly in the fitness clothing niche. Is that right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we do, basically it's called Tailored Athlete. We design formal menswear for guys who work out. So it's like dress shirts, jeans, suit pants, chinos, polos.
Yeah.
Like a fit to it. And we use like performance fabrics. So things that you would expect to find, like fabrics you expect to find in gym wear, we kind of take the benefits of them and put them into like dress shirts and jeans and stuff. So
interesting, man.
How'd
you get, like, I imagine you got into it purely out of necessity.
Literally, yeah. I couldn't find, it was like 3 years ago, I couldn't find a dress shirt. So I was going to my high school prom, couldn't find a dress shirt.
Wait, how old are you, man?
I'm 22.
Jesus.
What? That's amazing, man. Look at those. Yeah, you must slay women. I'm just going to put that out.
Well,
22, living in London. Look at these fucking traps.
Boom.
I mean, yeah, US, the accent goes quite far in the US, but
Harry will also show up at your bachelor party if you need.
Target rich environment.
Bachelorette.
Yeah.
That's the service you run.
Yes.
But yeah, basically I couldn't find like a dress shirt and a suit jacket that would fit properly, because what you find, you can get it to fit around your chest and shoulders, but then it's really baggy around your waist. And like guys who work for chest and shoulders and like a really small waist. Yeah. But there was just nothing out there. And I was asking everyone at the gym, like, where do you guys shop? And everyone was like, no, like you can't. There's no way that does this.
Yeah.
And then I went to university and I was like, that would be a cool business idea if I start one. went to uni. I didn't like it, and I dropped out after a few weeks and started the company. So that's how it came about.
That's really
How
cool.
long has the company been around?
So we launched in December 2016. So coming up to just 3 years now.
Yeah, and when like, if you don't mind me asking, what's sales forecast for this year?
Yeah, so our financial year is actually September to September. So
nice.
that's finished our third financial year. We finished on £1.4 million, which I think is around 1.6, 1.7 million USD. So yeah, no, it's been
more than that, isn't it? I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, the exchange rate pretty bad right now, but yeah I think
I'm gonna convert that while you guys talk because I want to know.
So yeah, third year of business. I mean, the first year we did £30,000. Second year we did 600, and then third we went to 1.4 million pounds. So
damn, dude, that growth is unreal.
Yeah, it's been one hell of a ride. It's kind of like driving everything through paid traffic. It's kind of been very scalable. So that's right now, and it's growing. Yeah, it's growing nicely.
Did you say 1.6 million pounds?
1.4 million pounds.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, you're about right, man. 1.6 is like 1.9 USD. So.
Okay, that's cool. Though. Congratulations on that.
Yeah,
man.
Dude, that's amazing.
22, that's a good age to be pulling like that.
Yeah, man. So I guess like you just went into real business. You didn't do any of the drop shipping shit, or you just went straight for like the full on like I'm gonna build something, or did you dabble in that?
No, I didn't. I never did drop shipping. I was aware of it, but because like I've always been, since a very young age, I've always been very kind of like entrepreneurial and like kind of making money. And before I got into it, I was like researching the best business models, and I kind of did a lot of reading around. You can sell like physical products to businesses for the most amount of money long term. That's why I kind of chose to get into a physical products business and build an actual brand out of it. Even though drop shipping was appealing with like not holding stock and stuff, it didn't really. It took me like 12 months to actually design the first product.
Wow. That's amazing. So did you have to design it locally and then outsource it from to get the cost down, or how did you go about that process?
Yeah, that was a big learning curve. So I was like 18. I had no idea how to like design a fashion garment. So it was literally just try, fail. And long story short, having gone through a lot of UK designers and pattern makers, I kind of got my designs on paper and sent them to a Chinese company. After 20 samples, I got the final fit that was like what I wanted, and then we went to production from there. But I mean, it was constant back and forth, like trying it on me, trying it on people much bigger than me to make sure the sizing I had like scaled up with the size.
That's crazy, man.
Tyler?
Did as far as like did you like physically sew the first ones yourself, or how did that work?
Yeah, no, I didn't sew them myself. I did get a few samples made here in the UK by like a pattern maker, but no one really understood the concept, because everyone working with, they weren't like into fitness. They didn't understand the problem that there is. Like, that's just silly. You're never going to be able to make a shirt that fits everyone who works out, because everyone sizes. But I mean, what I had done when I was at uni, I went to a very sporting uni in the UK, and I stood outside the gym and I literally just asked guys there. I was like, "What's your chest measurement? What's your waist? Like, do you find?" So I had about like 200 people, 100 to 200 people's like data from a questionnaire, and then I averaged it all out and kind of built this sizing guide off that.
Wow, that's smart.
It was crazy because like there was high street retailers telling me like, you don't want to start that, like it's going to be a nightmare trying to get it to work. And then there was like tailors and everyone. So it was kind of everyone saying no, but then like I quit 3 times in that first year because I just kept failing. But then I came to the conclusion, I was like, I still have no shirts to wear. So then I was like, I have to.
Oh, I love it, man. That's hilarious. I would love to like walk out of the gym and just see you like standing there. You wouldn't have talked to me, but you probably would talk to someone else around there. But dude, that's awesome to get out there. I find one thing, people who really build cool products
You got that gapping, homie. That Denver gapping.
Happens to the best of us. All I was getting at though was I find people who are really in tune with their products and stuff seem to really do well online. Like the people that actually care about, like, drop shipping's fine. You can learn a lot, do a lot, but the ones that last and grow are people who really put in that research. So that's awesome. You put in that work, man.
Yeah. And also I find business out of necessity, man. Like those are some of the best, because obviously there's going to be other people in this world that have that problem. And it's like a majority of it is, or my assumption is the majority of problems like that are very niche. And so there won't be much competition, or else you would have found a solution and then just moved on.
Right. That's exactly it. Right. Yeah. So I mean, there is now popped up like a lot of competition, but it's just like, I completely agree when it's like the owner of the business kind of scratching their own itch and solving their own problem. They are the customer. They understand how the product should be and like the expectations of the customer and stuff. So it also makes it a lot easier to market to your audience, which is
absolutely. I'm actually kind of curious about picking fabrics and stuff, because I had a brief stint in like women's leggings, and like I learned about like gussets and different types of stitching and like different types of fabric and like the percentage of cotton versus the percentage of other stuff or whatever. How did you figure all that out?
Yeah, so I mean, I was kind of, because I was going to my suppliers who kind of like, they sourced everything. They sourced the fabrics, the trim, buttons, all of that. I kind of told them, I mean, our product has evolved like a lot since we first started, because that's what I always want to have, the best product out there for our market, because now competition is coming in. There's like, we need to be the best product out there to be the best.
Yeah.
So initially I was kind of like, okay, it just must have like stretch fabrics. I want it to be like moisture wicking, breathable, quick drying. So like it took a while to find those fabrics with my suppliers, but when I finally found them, like it kind of worked, and people, like the people who were buying them, really loved it. So we create always has stretch in it. Usually always stretch, because I mean, it's just like movement and fit. It's so comfortable. And then we actually now got a like new generation of product in development where we're actually making custom fabrics. So that's like specifically all the benefits and features of that fabric we want in it. So that's really exciting, because we can kind of just like design it exactly how we want, compared to like using fabrics on the market before. Which
do you patent something like that? Like if you're making your own fabric, do you make it like inaccessible for anybody else?
I'm not too sure if you can do that. I'm sure there's parts of it you can, but on the whole, we can't really patent like our designs or anything, because if you just check off of a shirt, it's a different shirt. It's just really
I was thinking more from like the fabric side of things, just because if it's going to be completely from scratch and totally how you want it, you would think something like that would be.
Yeah, I mean, it could be possible. It's something we'll definitely look into. I mean, IP has become a focus point recently for us. So, something like that could be possible.
That's cool. What do you sell the most of? Do you sell mostly shirts, or is it just a wide range of everything?
Yeah, I mean, since starting, it's definitely been shirts. We're definitely known for our shirts. Like that's probably the best products. But just like, basically what happened was we launched with 4 shirts, like 2 different styles and 2 different colors. And we kept those same products for like the first 6 months. And then I started introducing more colors. Then after 1 year, we launched jeans. And then in the whole second year, we didn't launch anything else. We never had stock. What happened was we'd sell out of everything, and then we'll put it on pre-order. And when the shipments would come in, the stock would go straight back out. So we wouldn't be any stock, because it was just like constant in, out.
That's a good problem to have.
Oh yeah, a great problem to have until you have like hundreds of customers waiting for the shipment and it's delayed, and then you find out the product's faulty. But it's very stressful as well, but a great situation to be in. Finally, like it was at the end of last year, we finally got ahead with cash flow. So I mean, this whole business has been funded from a $3,000 credit card that I
Wow, man, that's amazing.
Good on you, dude. So buying product, running ads, everything off a $3,000 credit card.
Yeah. And I mean, after the first year, I did get like a startup loan from the UK government. I now paid off. So that was like about £12,000, which I just went straight into stock. I got it and then went to spend it all in stock.
Yeah,
nice.
So yeah, I mean, this year though, we've launched about, I think it's nearly coming up to 20 products now, or 15 products. So it's just like this year we've been launch. And that's where we've really seen like everyone who's our customer base, they've just been asking us for like trousers, for like sweaters, for jackets and new colors and jeans. So there's just so much stuff we can do. That's what the focus is.
dude, I love it. That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
What countries do you guys advertise in now?
Oh, literally worldwide.
Nice.
Because it's paid, like we usually go for like the cheapest. I mean, the most like highest return on investment on paid. But our biggest US, we actually have a warehouse in the US and then a warehouse in the UK.
Nice.
Our UK warehouse ships to the rest of the world, and the US only ships to our US customers. So
Makes sense.
We get a lot of different countries buying from us, which is really interesting. Some in Asia, and all around the world really. But US dominates our market.
I could imagine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Going into the paid advertising stuff, man, how did you, because you drive a majority of your business through paid advertising, no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do. So I learned, when I launched the business, I actually went and worked for a fitness influencer in New York after 3 months of launching the business. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's called Brown and Carter. And basically, I was like his intern for 3 months, where you're like,
nice.
You get taught how to like work in this company, and I was getting taught customer service and sales. But at the same time, he was like giving us a lot of courses to do, and one of those courses was paid advertising. So I'd like wake up and do like an hour of learning, 2 hours of learning, work 9 to 5, and then work until like 11 p.m. on paid advertising. After that, I started converting sales online. So I mean, I spent all my money available, and it was like the last £50 I finally got a sale, and then that like grew and grew and grew. So I was very lucky.
Nice. Wow. Was it his course?
No, it was a course that he had purchased for like the team.
Gotcha.
Really keen to.
Do you remember who it was?
Yeah, it was Monty Pittman and Ezra Firestone from Digital Marketer.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Ezra.
Yeah, Ezra. Because the funny thing is, when I was in New York, I was like, I did the course, and I was like, oh, cool. It'll be nice. Like, it'll be amazing to meet Ezra and ask him questions. I reached out to him on LinkedIn. He didn't reply. I reached out again like a few weeks later, and he was like, yeah, let's meet up for coffee in New York. So I went and met him for a coffee, and he was actually there with like some really like high level guys. It was like Adam Mortiz from Shopify, and then Drew Sunoki was there as well. And they're like, right, we have 10 minutes. Like, what do you want to know? And I was just like, oh, God. I was so shocked by the time I had. I was like, okay, let's do this.
That's awesome.
We know Adam pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh,
small world, man. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Man, very small world. Adam's a really good guy. He's actually doing some cool stuff now too, but that's awesome you got to meet him.
We met in a Joe and the Juice in New York. So they gave some really good advice. So that was when I just sold out of my first batch of shirts. And I was just like, so what do I do next? And they were like, order some more and then move to Shopify. So I was on WooCommerce at the time.
Nice.
Cool.
And do my paid ads course, which was Ezra. He gave me a paid ads. I did that and then scaled to another level, and it went from there. So it's
that's amazing.
Did you ever tell Ezra his paid ad course helped you scale?
Yeah, I've kept in touch with Ezra. I remember when I 50K a month, I sent him screenshots of that. I was like, dude, like, look what you've done. Like, thank you so much.
That's amazing.
That's amazing, man.
We should go through that course because people are always asking us like what courses to go through, stuff like that. And it's so hard for us to recommend stuff because a lot of the like stuff we learn is just through talking to other people, not necessarily courses. But that's something we should take a look through, Gabe, because it could be something we could like refer on to people.
And to be honest with you, man, I don't think we need to go through Ezra Firestone's fucking course.
I'd be curious, man, for sure.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, as far as
You gapped. What'd you say in far as value?
really like affiliate focused, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, his stuff's gonna be ecom focused for sure.
Yeah. So, but anyways, man, that's badass. So you took Ezra's course, started running traffic, and right now, what traffic channels do you run on?
So yeah, right now we're still heavily on Facebook and Instagram.
Nice.
We have tried diversifying them in like the last year, but we haven't seen success elsewhere. I think that's partly due to not putting enough focus on it and just not for long enough. That's the thing, because it's all like being bootstrapped. It's kind of like cash just goes into stock because that's where we're growing fastest. And it's like we have orders coming. It's like we need to buy stock whilst also diversifying channels and paid marketing. So it's kind of like a trade-off at the same time. But we built out all our email flows. We're very strong in email marketing.
Very cool.
So yeah, we're exploring other channels like over the next few months as well. So it's kind of just scaling paid advertising as a whole, taking it holistic.
Do you have an in-house advertiser, or do you manage it all yourself?
Yeah, so how it happened was I worked with an agency for a year, and then the agency, because we worked really well together, he came on board like full time and the agency. And we kind of grew the business from there. However, recently, he's now left the company. So now we're working with like consultants and another agency, but my goal is to bring it in-house. So like at the end of next year, I hope to have that in-house along with everything else.
That's cool. Totally. Yeah. That's a cool transition, going from an agency to working in-house too. That'd be fun. Was the agency pissed that he left you, or that they left him?
It was
I get it. I mean, whatever. You got to do what you got to do is what's best for you. So
yeah. But it's definitely in-house because you can kind of really create specific ads to your business. Like really everything around that. We also got a content team in-house. So if we come up with of ads, it's like, let's create that content that could convert really well. Like in a few, we're all done. So it's that's quite.
What about a repeat business, man? I imagine once someone starts buying from you, they keep on buying.
That's the thing, right? Because it's like when people see our ads, it's such a problem-solving kind of ad. They're like, that's. And then once they've purchased from us, they see the quality, they see the fit. Whenever we launch a new product, like we have a lot of our customers who come back and buy. So they know what to expect. It's going to have stretch fabrics. The quality is going to be good, and it's going to have all these other benefits. Like customer service is on point, they'll get it fast. Like that's kind of, I'm trying to build this really like strong kind of community of customers. Because this is like, for me, this is a very long-term play. Like I'm not gonna, like I've got a very, very long-term vision for tailored athletes. So it's exciting. It's so like rewarding to have those type of customers there. So it's just like, they send us the reviews, they leave us, like it's the best feeling in the world. So
that's amazing.
It's amazing.
So do you kind of have like a bottleneck in your company in terms of releasing new products? So I imagine it takes quite a while to like go from idea phase to like actual production of it. And if you're getting repeat customers all the time, then I feel like you could just be launching new stuff every couple of weeks, but I'm sure that logistically it's impossible.
Yeah. I mean, it's like how we've got so many ideas for products. Like we've got 30 products in development right now being released over the next month. Because like it takes like around 3 months to develop a product. From that includes like getting the tech packs done, the size and specs done, going to find the supplier if one of our suppliers can't do it already. Then you get to choose the fabrics, you sample. Like the biggest thing for us is of getting the fit right. Like it takes about 3 samples to get our fit like on point. Because the whole thing about our product, it needs to be like tapered the right amount at the waist, the chest needs to fit nicely, the arms, the shoulders. So it's that takes the longest time. Once we have that, then we get the samples, we create all the content whilst the production is going underway. And then once the production is, we have like a delivery date, we get the content complete, then we can like strategize the launch and we plan it out from there. So it's quite a process, but we've got, for the first time this year, we're now ahead. Like we actually have few launches lined up that are already like kind of ready and waiting.
Yeah.
Which is really, because before we were kind of doing everything so last minute, like we'll get all the content finished the day before we launch a product, and like if the stock is made, it will get shipped out like the day after that. It's just like yeah.
Is there anything you're really excited to that's coming out shortly?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this month, we have bomber jackets coming out, which is the best. Honestly, in my opinion, the best product I've ever developed to date. Just due to the inner and outer lining of the jacket, it's full-way stretch, being proof and windproof, and it's just like I've been looking for a jacket for so long that's like kind of transitional and like you can wear it when it's getting summer to winter. So it's not too hot, cold. And it just fits so nicely with the stretch. It's just like,
that's amazing, man.
Very excited for that release.
Yeah, I love it, man. Have you you guys give any thought to going after influencers at all in the marketplace?
Yeah. We worked with a very big influencer in the fitness industry very recently. Do you know Sergi Constance?
I do. I think.
You do?
I do. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's got like 4 million followers. He's like quite a big account. But so basically what happened was one of our current influencers, we have like before that we had 2 models on exclusive contracts with us. They introduced us to him because he really liked our stuff, like our clothes and shirts. And then we got chatting and we went out to Valencia and like kind of filmed the whole, we filmed a video about him, his lifestyle and like his values and everything. And we created a product launch around him and it launched a collection with him. So that was really cool. It was a really good experience being out in Valencia with him shooting like his day-to-day life and all of that. So yeah, that was really good experience. He's a great guy. So it's nice having him.
How did that launch work out? Because that's probably a much different launch than most clothing brands in the space do.
Yeah. I mean, so this is the thing with influencer marketing. I've never been sold on it because whenever I've used someone, like worked with an influencer before, I've never seen it come in. And I was like, okay, to test this theory once and for all, Sergi is the guy. Like he's been in the fitness industry, one of the longest on Instagram. He's got a massive account. We're going to film a whole like content around him, a whole collection. And like the launch, I mean, I don't know how much I should say, but like the launch went well. But there's like, the sales weren't directly from like influencers.
Gotcha.
Like influencers don't work for us. And I'm trying to figure out, is that because it's our product? Is it our price point? Because our price point is seen to be a bit higher than like your average shirt. Consideration period is longer. But every influencer I've ever tested, we haven't generated any sales from it. Maybe the influencer bubble has burst. I mean, I kind of believe it's just now about working with influencers in a different way. So like Sergi, he's a really great model. He's like a great guy and like he fits our brand really well. So we're working with him, create content and create value for all of his audiences and for all our customers.
Nice.
We don't kind of look at it as like another channel of income. It's kind of like a branding exercise and a relationship we're building.
Gotcha. Will you ever have like an athlete team? I know it's not really like a sports related brand. It is, but it isn't. You know what I'm saying? So like, would you ever, I know that like a lot of these fitness brands go after like having like an athlete team. Yeah.
Do you mean a team of just like different athletes?
Basically sponsored by you. Cause like, you know, I feel like every fitness brand these days, they have like a, whatever they want to call it, like athlete crew or team or whatever. And then they all.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But I feel like for your stuff, it's like, it's kind of fine line. Cause like it is fitness related, but it's at the same time, it's not that.
I mean, we're kind of breaking down at different levels. Like there's people that we'll send like a few pieces, like a few shirts to, and they do a shout out for us and represent the brand. And then there's a few like actual pro athletes, like Olympic kind of level athletes that we would like to be associated with. So we sponsor them. We give them all our new latest like clothing. Because I mean, that's just such a great audience and like avenue for us.
Totally.
So I mean, I don't think long term we'll have like the athlete kind of team that a lot of companies are building. But we're definitely building a sense of the community and like kind of just following it in line with our vision. it's kind of like a movement. So yeah, I mean, we're starting to work with a lot more like pro athletes in their respective sports. So that's really exciting, rather than the like fitness influencer route.
You know, it's interesting actually, because I'm kind of going through my head. I'm like, how come, you know, because like Under Armour has The Rock, and that's probably maybe not even a great comparison. What's that?
Right on the important part.
Has a lot of influencers. What's that other UK brand that has a lot of influencers?
Gymshark.
Gymshark, yeah.
Yeah.
They did it. Have you read Shoe Dog by Phil? What's the name of the guy who started Nike? Phil Knight.
Yeah. I read that the other.
Did you?
Really?
I think I left my version at Gabe's house of it.
Guess who hasn't read it?
Anyways, though, they just talk about how they leverage pro athletes and stuff, but they're also into the performance activewear where you're more of the like the tailored look, the going out at night look. So it's just interesting that every other brand it's worked for, but maybe it's just because of how you're, you know what I mean, just that yours is not about the activewear. It's more about the like looking good and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No, 100% agree. Like, I mean, it's cool. Like, brands such as Gymshark, like because their influencers can literally wear their products every single day because they work out most days. Like
exactly.
They're like seeing the product on them like repeatedly. But then like how often you put on social media you like dressed up to go to work or dressed up to go on a night out? Like it's not as often. You normally create as much content. So I mean that could be a very good reason why influencers.
I own like 4 gym shirts, and I know I'm not your ideal body for your brand. Like I totally
Gabe, he was just about to offer us.
But I will say that like I have like 4 dress shirts, and I just wear the frickin' same one every time I go out because I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm mostly in like t-shirts and hoodies.
Yeah. No, it's comfortable. Well, I mean, man, like I've definitely sent you some of our shirts because they honestly feel like t-shirts and hoodies.
Nice.
So.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'll take a triple XL, please.
But a lean triple XL.
A lean, yeah. So it's gonna be really loose up here, and then it's gonna be super tight around my leg, my stomach. That's the look that everyone needs.
Yeah.
I'm not your ideal body.
Well, we are now trying to start to broaden our market because like when we launched it was literally we're going after the bodybuilders. Now we're kind of shooting content for the broader market, kind of like the modern man who's like works in the city. He wants to wear something comfortable, makes him look good, like put together and smart. So it's kind of like we're creating content with models that aren't as bodybuilder looking.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm getting married next June, so I'll need a stretchy suit. There you go.
We should have them.
Yeah. Awesome. That's hilarious, man. So let's kind of go back a little bit. Do you have any advice for people that want to start a clothing brand or like an apparel brand? Because you've seen it start to finish, man, like you know the best. And I'm sure there's people out there who all get the ideas like, yeah, I want to start a fitness brand or I want to start an apparel brand, but they don't really understand the level of work that goes into it. So do you have any advice for those people?
Yeah. I would probably say, I mean, it probably goes for like a lot of businesses as well. I'd probably say try and really understand the reason you're starting such a brand, like the reason you want to do it. Like, I mean, you hear it quite a lot. When things do go against you and things do get tough, if you don't really understand why you're doing what you're doing, that's when it's like, you probably will give up. Like, if you know what like you want out of it and your like purpose with it, then I just trying to make, like, whenever people ask me that, I'm just like, make sure you understand why. Because I mean, there's
because your why brought you back, right? You said you quit like 3 times in a year, but your why was strong enough to bring you right back into it.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the initial thing for me. It was just like, okay, there's still this problem that needs solving, and no one's actually solving it. So it's like there must be a market there. And that's why initially, for me, like that's like the surface level why for me, and then there was like kind of the deeper level motivation for me, which was like, I never wanted to be, like, I wanted to be independent and be able to make decisions. Because like when I was growing up, like I wasn't very, like finances were quite tight, and I had the budget for everything. So I was like, when I'm older, like I don't want to have to think, can I afford another drink at the bar, or like, can I buy this meal? I just want to be able to make emotional decisions, like, I fancy another beer or something, or like, I'm gonna go buy another dinner. So that's like my motivation. It's kind of financial freedom as such, and not being income.
Can't put a price on freedom.
No, that's the thing, right? And it's not about like the monetary value of let's make X amount of money. It's more about what that money buys you.
Yeah.
So that's why that's so.
I always say that, man. It's not about like the things. It's about just being able to do whatever you want, whenever the fuck you want, and not have to question it.
Exactly right. That's it. So yeah, that's always kind of when things have got tough. Like I mean, like every year's been harder and harder. Like there's been bigger challenges. There's been bigger things that come across. But when you really understand why you're doing it, it's just like it makes everything a lot easier.
I bet.
That's the one big advice I'll give to people looking to start a business.
Yeah.
What about I know in the apparel or like the clothing niche specifically, I know like sizing's a big issue. Like we had one friend that sold a lot of clothes, but then he got so many returns because his sizing, like it just didn't fit people properly.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you handle that?
Yeah, surprisingly, I mean, like the industry average in clothing is apparently, from what like online sources say, it's between 25 and 50% return rate.
Wow.
Which is like phenomenal. Like it's insane. But and like our whole business model is like built around true muscle fit, which is like a very specific size.
Yeah.
But our rate hovers around 10% a month. So like we're very like,
that's great, man.
Yeah, and then half of that is refunds. So it's just like very good. But that's because I spent a year developing this product. Every time I wouldn't try it on just me. I would try it on 3 other guys to make sure it fit like people across the board. I mean that's like returns when cash flow gets tight, returns can really go against you as well. But just thinking about it, like for advice to people who want to get into fashion and clothing, e-com businesses specifically, the biggest, like probably the easiest win for yourself is to design a product that solves a problem. Because when you have a problem solving product, it's such an easier sell than if you're trying to sell something or something like to someone that like they don't necessarily need. But if you're like solving their problem, it's such an easier sell.
You almost don't really need to sell them on a story, because it's just like if this is you and you have this issue, buy this and we fix it for you. It's not like you don't have to put a lot of emotion behind it like some other brands.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like problems usually don't go away. Like there's always going to be people with that problem. Whereas if you're selling a story, the story could get old, or it could go out like could go out of date. So it's just like if there's always that problem there, it's like your business is going to be quite safe.
Yeah. So. And I don't think people are going to stop working out anytime soon. So I think you're good.
Well, yeah, that's the health market's just growing and growing. So it's quite good for us.
Oh, that's amazing, man. That's really cool. Are you going to get into female fashion at all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have a lot of females like asking us like, do you do jeans yet? And do you do X, Y, Z? Yeah. We actually have our first collection of females clothing in production right now. So it's coming out early next year, which is really exciting because that's nice.
I feel like with the trend of like girls just building like really big glutes and really big legs and stuff, that there's probably a huge need for specialty fitting pants.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing that they always ask us for, because like it's the same with guys. Like you can't fit the jeans over your like quads and then your glutes. You do have a really small waist. So it's just like these big waist jeans. It doesn't look good or doesn't feel right. So that designing a pair of jeans with a really small waist, but then that fit your
Tyler's got the same problem, man. He's got a male booty.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. For the moodies.
Yeah. Yours are probably squats of poor formation. But it's comfortable when I sit down, so I can't complain.
Oh, that's so funny. For the amount of ass Tyler has, I definitely lack in it. So we're even.
Yeah.
We balance it out.
And then I have the cast of a 12-year-old girl, and Gabe's got like giant elephants that fight each other when he walks. So it's like,
dude, I don't even have to work these out, man. Like I did like calf raises with like 4 plates on each side the other day. I was like, wow, that was easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good dog. like those.
Yeah.
Tell us about the future of your company, man. You kind of alluded to it earlier, but where do you plan to take it long term?
Yeah. So I mean, as I say, for me, it's a very long-term vision. One, like we've started working with some new, like we have a new supply chain on the way. And the cool thing about them, like I mentioned, those custom fabrics, like something I took away from the mastermind I went to with Chad was like you have to have the best, like you have to have the best product out there if you're going long term. And like our product is good, don't get me wrong, like it's really good. It solves a problem. The fabrics are great and the quality's great, as I said. But then I was like, I could make it better. Like I know there's things about the product that I really dislike because I designed it. So I'm like, let me see. And then like we're gonna double down on everything. We're gonna scale like crazy. So we have this whole new generation of shirts, jeans, trousers, like everything on the way. And like I'm just so excited for that. Like it literally makes me excited.
That's awesome.
Because it is just a whole new level. And I know there's so many other brands that have popped up recently, like literally copying our same business model. And I know this is the one thing that's going to set us apart from the competition. So refreshing all of our product with this new generation. While we already have 2 warehouses, we're looking for 2 more in the next 12 months, specifically one in Australia, because that's a very big market for us. So yeah, I mean, scaling online a lot and then going into like different languages so we can hit even more people around the world. But I mean, for me, like the end goal of Tailored Athlete is kind of every piece of clothing you can buy from like a normal store, like that does like all clothes, is I want it to be within Tailored Athlete with a true muscle fit with performance fabrics. So guys who work don't have any, like they literally don't need to go anywhere else apart from Tailored Athlete to buy their clothing. Like I literally, there's everything like socks, underwear, like suits. There's just like so many products that I want to create, and just build. So that's kind of where we want to go. And we're looking at doing pop-ups in our biggest cities.
That's cool. I was actually kind of curious if you're going to head like department stores, but man, pop-ups could you kind of explain how pop-ups work? Because I know a lot of people are unsure about that.
Yeah, for sure. So for example, like our first location will probably be London because that's like where we're based, right? So like you get a store on like Oxford Street, which is like a very busy shopping street in London. And you can rent out the store for like a short period of time. Like we'll probably do like a long weekend, or you can do like a 2-week period. It depends like what you kind of want. So let's say we chose a long weekend, so like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And we would hype it up online and all to our current audiences. But then how I want to do it is I want to make that like pop-up store an experience. So they can come and meet the models that we're always like posting with and who's always wearing us. They can come and try on like the suits, the shirts, maybe some like activities in there just to really engage people and kind of build like an experience rather than just like going to the store to shop.
Totally.
So it's kind of like you do a pop-up and then it's like you bring everyone there.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Sounds like 4 days of chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Worth it though. If you sell out, right? Like I'm sure you will. That's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of a very good branding activity as well. I mean, I know companies of like friends who've done it before. And when they do a pop-up in like a certain area of a country, if you look at the sales after that, like 12 months after the pop-up, there are so many more sales from that region of the country. It's really interesting.
That is interesting.
Interesting. Do you think it's because they're existing customers from that pop-up, or do you think they're buying because they missed the pop-up and they really wanted it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of the awareness thing. Because like, let's say you go to the pop-up, like the team and the models, and like the stuff looks really cool, but you just don't buy it for whatever reason. You're probably then going to get hit by one of our ads later on because we're so heavy on paid advertising. And then into the funnel of our online marketing, which is probably lead you to buy anyway. So that's, I think it's a bit of both, like you say, like people not buying on the day or people couldn't get there. So
the brand awareness. Gotcha.
I could kind of see people getting more like attached to have a more like intimate experience with that brand at that point then too. Cause it goes from being strictly online, like, oh man, I remember I met the models, like I had a protein shake on the way in or whatever you guys are doing. Right. But like, I could just see that relationship really growing. And then when they see you, they just recognize you in a different light, not as the same as like another store.
Exactly. That's it. It's kind of, I want to build, like I say, that community of people.
Yeah.
It's good. if you look at some of the reviews we get, it's crazy. Like people, it's like, so when you put on a new pair of like football boots or like a new pair of like, shoes for sport, and then you feel like you're going to play better because you just got a brand new pair of boots. Like, when you put on a tailored athlete shirt, I want you to get that experience and that feeling that you're going to go out to work and perform better. Like, you're going to make decisions, you're confident, you're looking great, you're looking sharp. Like that's the kind of movement we're creating. So it's more than just like we're selling clothing. It's kind of like the guys are like, they got their life together, they're working hard, they've got their own business, they're working out, they're healthy, they're looking good. It's kind of that movement that we're creating. So long term, that's where we're kind of going with it. Yeah.
Do you have a slogan for your brand? Like,
it's designed by athletes for athletes.
Cool.
Nice.
Smart. I like it.
Gabe, I really think you'd make a great face of that brand.
Well, I don't know about that. I think I'd have to hit the gym for a good 3 years and then maybe do a little test. I don't know. Just really go for it, a little HGH. Yeah.
You're fine. Harry's going to give you a diet and workout regime to follow. You'll be all good.
Thanks.
You'll have traps like his in no time.
Yeah. We're doing an entrepreneurial show and a diet show.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be posting before and afters on 7Fig. Be like, ever since I met Harry, my life has been changed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Question for you. You were talking about this mastermind and you keep going back to it, man. Which mastermind was it? Because it sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was by Ryan Moran.
Yeah.
No, of him. I've never met him, but what's his site? Capitalist.com, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and I know he's got a few other things.
Man, I love his advertisements for all of his stuff, man. They're good.
Yeah, he's good, right? Yeah. So it was a mastermind in his lake house in Texas.
Nice.
About, 10 of us there. It was like over, I think it was 3 days. And it was really, really good. Like there was a lot of great value there, and the people that like you can network with there was just like a whole nother level.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Was it worth the money? I imagine it was at least 10 grand.
That's it. It was well worth it. Yeah, I mean, like everyone seemed to come away with like a lot of like things they could action. They knew like what they had to change to kind of scale their business to the next level.
Nice.
And I mean, the cool thing about he kind of taught me was like, you just need to set your goal and then you just walk straight towards it. You don't like, you see, everyone seems to get distracted by like this and that. But if you just like look at your goal and you just walk straight towards it, it's not that hard. It's just like clears your mind and makes everything so kind of like, focused.
That's smart. Serious question, if we have a mastermind, are you going to speak at it?
I mean, I'd be happy to.
We'll bring you across in a boat.
Yeah, right. Container. I think that's illegal.
But there'll be lots of lean chicken and some weights in there, so you'll be good, bro.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
See, he's in. As soon as you said lean chicken and weights, he's down.
Yeah.
And a good Wi-Fi signal, obviously.
Yeah. He's gonna come out just like lean and freaking like ready to go.
20 pounds heavier.
Give me carbs.
What going into your back end a little bit, man. So I've seen like we ran an e-com store. We helped other people with their e-com stores before, and we definitely saw various models. We saw guys that break even up front and then make all their money on the back end. We saw guys that they strictly only run profit on the front end and have no back end, or they have a back end that complements their front end. How do you guys kind of approach it from that aspect?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, because like everything was like, as I say, funded from a $3,000 credit card, I didn't have a choice but to make profit on the front end.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the reason we've grown so fast, like, is just through, how I've structured it all, we make a bit of profit on the front ends, like cold acquisition sales, but then our back end is so like strongly built out. And now that we have the other products to cross sell and upsell to people, that's where we make a lot of our money too. Because as you said, when someone buys from us once, they're going to go and then buy like X, Y, Z, like jeans, t-shirts, polos, and then they're going to go and get trousers and a formal shirt for work. Like there's some guys dropping like a lot of money Like the other day, I literally, I think I just came out of a meeting, looked at my phone, and someone spent $1,000 in one order. And I was like, yeah, it is like really, really interesting. So our AOV is quite nice. So it kind of allows us to, scale the front end. And then that kind of builds as they go through the email marketing and our product launches. But it wasn't hard. It was, I mean, it was hard at first because like everything I learned from like Ezra and all my like reading online was how can I increase my AOV? Because if I increase my AOV, I can increase my CPA on ads. So I can just like, so through strategies increase my AOV, that like helped growth a lot for sure.
Do you use one-click upsell by Ezra?
I did for a while because I wanted to see how powerful it was. The thing is, like, it clashes with my other strategy of increasing AOV, which is kind of if you buy a shirt and a pair of jeans together, you get 20% off.
Yeah,
if you buy like bundling basically. So the app I use to bundle, it doesn't integrate with one-click up. So yeah, and I like the app, the one-click upsell, but I also couldn't like kind of match it to our online store thing, and it wasn't consistent. So I was kind of that put me off a little bit. But I mean, a great increase that for sure.
Yeah, cool.
What about have you guys done anything on the SMS side?
No, we haven't. I got hit by an SMS from another brand that I really like the other day. Usually I find it even like quite like a no, but the way they phrased it, like it was fine. I was like, okay, that's actually pretty cool. So that thing, like, damn, that could be quite a good like channel for us. So something that I'm looking to in the future, but not immediately because I still think it's quite it has to be done really well in order not to like
very well, man. I'm actually hiring a SMS lawyer right now, and I think he's like almost $700 per hour, just to fully understand the compliance of SMS. Because there's like, there's like, it covers under TCPA, but there's just so many, like even what distinguishes like a marketing message from a transactional message, just like a couple words make all the difference. So I'm learning that myself, but we've definitely played with it before, especially on e-commerce stores. And like we've talked about this on the podcast before a few times. We've definitely seen it outperform email on abandonment cart.
Right. Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it's so effective because I guess not many people are doing it, right? So and when you get like it stands out quite a lot. So I mean,
dude, I even open every SMS that comes my way. If it's a marketing message, I open that thing.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So
when we were running ecom, I think we did like $200,000 just in SMS retargeting.
Yeah.
200,000 in sales. Yeah. In a month. Yeah. It was November, December. It was November, I think. Or was it 2 months? I forget.
I think it was November, December, but
either way, that makes sense. Yeah. It was a lot.
Yeah. Of revenue we picked up. So it was definitely hot.
So do you have to do, there's going to be different rules for each country though. Is that correct?
So like the GDPR Act that's coming in the EU, that's that's data protection, which is like really strict. So that's like last March, not this year, previous year, like when GDPR was coming into effect, like everyone was going crazy about it. A lot of lawyers made a lot of money, but people were selling online. So I'm not too sure about the legal side of like text messages and that. So it's something I definitely have to look into properly before launching. Yeah, I mean, as you guys experience, like it converts like crazy, right? So
cool.
Until you get fined.
Yeah.
And all your money goes away that you just made.
Exactly. That's definitely a touchy thing. Have you guys looked at YouTube ads at all?
Yeah, we played with YouTube ads a little bit.
Nice.
Because we did a lot of, like, at the start of this year, we tested a lot of Google Search, Google Display, and YouTube at the same time. However, like how attribution is set out, what we noticed was our spend of paid ads went up, but like Google Analytics kind of had to say it kind of stole attribution from Facebook ads. So like our revenue didn't increase, but like our spend did, saying it was getting X amount of sales, but then Facebook was also saying the same. 3 to 4 months, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to cut it now. We're going to sort this out, and then we're going to approach it again properly. Like,
gotcha.
Were you doing that directly through Google, or were you using a service?
We're doing it through Google.
Okay.
So I mean, that's the thing. Like, we didn't really create content specific to those channels either. It was kind of like, that's what I mean when I say like, when we do it, I really want to focus on it, build a basic channel, and like really understand it properly, and then like scale as we learn the system and the channel, rather than kind of just throwing money at it with an agency and like
totally see what happens. Yeah, I could see like obviously you'd have to test it, but I could see YouTube being very powerful. It's the most like Facebook and Instagram.
You gaffed hard. Whenever you got something, and your face was really good.
That's all that matters then. All I was saying was I could see YouTube being a very strong channel for your brand. It's like very similar to social like Facebook and Instagram. You know, you actually get to see where Google search I could see being a bit difficult. And then like the display network, I don't even know. I'd have to think about that. But YouTube I could see being effective. Plus, like how many guys go on there just looking up like workout videos or how to do certain exercises or whatever it is. Like your audience definitely exists there.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like that's the thing, because our brand is so visual. Like that's where we see. The issue I find with YouTube right now is like, because the ads are displayed before you're going to watch the video that you went onto YouTube to watch, most people won't really leave that video because they want to watch it. But I mean, I have like the news I've been hearing, they are working on different placements, which is quite exciting. So I'm really keen to channel like that paid channel develops too, because like, as you say, I think it would be really strong.
No, I could definitely see that, man. That's awesome.
I would imagine that the influencer game on YouTube would be better than IG also, because I feel like you can capture more of someone's time in a YouTube video versus Instagram, right? We have a friend who runs a fairly big channel, and I think a lot of his brand deals work out really well. Because he gets to see the numbers and stuff like that, and they cost a lot, but I think the value is there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I guess because especially if someone's like talking about the product, like you said, capture attention and really like show how much like valuable that kind of product is and like the benefits of it for sure.
Yeah.
Have you seen that Alpha M dude?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him potentially, or someone like him, just because guys are really looking up like, you know, how to pick a shirt that fits or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
I think I previously had like a PR comms manager. I think he had his agent. He was like, at the time we weren't really in the position to allocate that budget. So I think it's like quite a lot.
Yeah, I think he's pretty pricey.
Yeah. And like at that point we hadn't had any success on the platform. So it was like, don't really want to commit that amount of budget to something we haven't seen yet. But I mean, someone like him would be perfect for sure, because a lot of guys up to him to find fashion. So
damn, dude.
Yeah, man.
Do you think you'd ever sell your company one day, or have you thought about that?
Yeah, I mean, that is something I've thought about a lot. Like what's my exit plan, my long-term vision and stuff. I mean, I don't think I'd sell all of it. Like I'd probably sell. I mean, I am looking to get funding at the end of next year. I'm just building out our processes and making everything really efficient and tight right now, and kind of completing our core range of products. And then I look to get funding. But I really want to see this through and see how big I can grow it. Because like I'm a very ambitious, multi-tailored athlete. But long term, like I'd probably cash out maturity. But I mean, because it's always like such a big thing for me, like I would kind of still want to be involved.
It's like identity a little bit, huh?
Yeah. So that's kind of where my head's at the minute. But I mean, what happens?
Cool, man. Well, we're just over the hour roughly here.
Dude, that was awesome. I definitely appreciate the time. Have we had a clothing brand on before, Gabe?
Not that wasn't drop shipping, I don't think.
Yeah, that's true. And we definitely have. I know there's one guy in where I'm at now, Denver. He's a young dude. I think he's like 17 or whatever. And him and his dad have like this clothing brand they want to launch. And every now and again, he'll ask me for advice. I'm like, honestly, man, like I could tell you about traffic, I could tell you about different stuff, but when it comes to clothing, like I would just feel out of my depth, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? So it's cool having you on, especially someone who's like Gabe said, we've had drop shippers on before, but never a guy who spent a year designing his own freaking product, man. That's unreal.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I personally think it's a smart way to go too, because like it's going to be hard to compete with you, man. Like you're so far ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the thing. I just have such a strong vision about the product and the company that is like, even though there are brands popping up, like copying our product and stuff, like I mean, it used to annoy me like a year ago, but now I'm just like, it's okay. Like they don't have the same vision and like goals that we have. So we're just going to be like driving that market forward. And if they're always behind us, that's like, I'm okay with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure, man. If anybody wants to find you, do you want to be found or nah? Or
yeah, no, for sure. Like that's the thing. When I was like 17, 18, there was no one, I couldn't find anyone there that I could talk to about these things. So I kind of want to be that guy for the people there.
Right.
So they can reach out to my Instagram, which is just at Harry Simonis. Yeah.
Perfect, man. That's amazing. All right, dude. Tyler, you got anything else? You good?
No, man, definitely appreciate the time, dude. I'm glad Chad put us in touch. And do you have actually any events you're coming to the US over for?
Yeah, I mean, we've got we're moving one of our US warehouses in the next few months, so I will be in the US probably within the next 3 months, to be fair. So
cool.
Nice. Do you, like, what about conferences and stuff? Do you go to anything out here?
I'm starting to go more and more. There's nothing that I've got plans coming up, but I mean, there definitely will be like, when I book them. So.
Traffic and conversion, bro. It's the
That's it. Yeah, that's on my list.
Well, dude, we go every year, so we should definitely meet up when we're over.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love that. It would be great to meet you guys.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Thanks everyone for listening today. For everyone watching, please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube. And for everyone listening, please give us 5 stars, a 5-star review. I can't talk today, guys, on iTunes, Spotify, or Stitcher. All right. Thank you again, man. I really appreciate your time. We'll see you on the next one.